Haribo's log. Stardate. I lost track a while ago. I don't know why I still begin these things with that. Had a long chat with our new party mate last night. I think I may have taken my initial response to this whole phenomenon of magic at its uninformed face value. I have seen more than my fair share of things deadly and dangerous during my time here. And sure, if one ignores the warnings listed, like the ones below, one might find themselves in a similar pickle. But with a little observation, with a little study, there's always an explanation. Kendra brought up an interesting thought last night. Something definitely happened to give back at that waterfall, and I think Margery may know more than she has let on. Perhaps I'll ask when there's a free moment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, a wider world. We have 4 adventurers. We're traveling to the mountain to save some goblins with our little kobold friend. Yes, I'm Haribo Tamagotchi. Nope, I play Haribo Tamagotchi. I am in, and I do play Haribo Tamagotchi. The lines blur sometimes, but he's an artificer, and I think for now in the foreseeable future, he's probably hanging out as Haribo the halfling. The question of the day is 3 people I would like to have a meal with that are living. Honestly, right now, what I need is some, good art inspiration. Because I've been doing the things I've been doing for a long time, and I really enjoy doing them. But I think it would be incredibly inspirational and, helpful to the things that I do to sit down with some art inspiration. So for me, I think it would be straight up just all 3 of the McElroy brothers. Easy peasy. Wow. 1 for 3. Good to go. But I feel like there's a lot of things that I could ask for advice on or just chat about and get a lot of artistic inspiration from. So yeah.
And I'm sure the goofs will have you rolling.
I mean, goofs. Why not? Why wouldn't there be goofs?
Speaking of goofs, my name is Lawrence Jennings, and I'm playing the wonderful bard Sparkleoneous. He's quite a bit of a goof himself. So when it comes to 3 people that I would like to have dinner with, I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a theme here. I would like to have dinner with Noel Fielding. Grew up with the wonderful comedy of Noel Fielding. I think it would be fun to hang out with him. Let's also include Julian Barrett, the part 2 of the Mighty Boosh, their little comedy show that they had going on for quite a while. And then let's throw Paul Hollywood in there. Let's maybe I can get a handshake, talk about the behind the scenes of the Great British Bake Off.
Okay, we're doing our question. These are the people that Lawrence wants to have a meal with that are alive. Paul Hollywood, I did not expect.
I think that would be...
I fully 100% understand what has happened now.
I think that would be a good little mix-up. That'd be a good, fun trio.
Who is Paul Hollywood?
Definitely, he wouldn't enjoy the conversation necessarily, but he'd be able to talk about the food, and that would just be wonderful. I don't know a whole lot about food, and I don't think Noel Fielding does either.
Who is Paul Hollywood?
Paul
Great
Hollywood
British Bake Off.
Yeah, he's the mean judge that gives handshakes and has blue eyes.
He's the stern judge with the piercing blue eyes.
Okay, I love this.
And the scandalous past.
I like your theme so far. 2 themes. I didn't need to name them all. I just had the theme to sit in. I like that. Okay.
Mine. Oh, hi. My name is Grace Stringer, and I play Margery Ridgeback, the cleric who is also a necromancer. And my 2 people are a little varied, but I feel like the conversations will be very interesting. So Snoop Dogg, Keanu Reeves, and Sandra Bullock are my 3. I just think we will have a great time gabbing, and there's lots of different things we can gab about. And I just think that they've got good chemistry with varied people,
Wow,
Hollywood's good boys.
Incredible.
All right, and I am Michael. I play Thaddeus Ofkoot, the Dwarven Fighter. And who would I want to eat a full meal with? I would pick Nathan Fillion, Zachary Quinto.
Oh.
Just to throw some spice in there, Christopher Walken.
Whoa! I'd say there's lots of spice. There's spice all over the place here. Nathan Fillion was not the first name I was expecting.
Don't.
Wow.
Hey everyone, I'm Theodore Stringer, the voice of any other character, and sometimes the world itself. If I was gonna sit down to a multi-course dinner with people who are alive, Keanu is really good. I've been listening to a book of like 5th edition tactics by a guy named Keith Amon, and he'd be really interesting to talk to about just his perspectives on the game.
Yeah.
And I actually would like to hear Keanu's opinion about Dungeons and Dragons also. I think he'd have things to say. And then we need a perspective that's entirely not Dungeons and Dragons, so I would like Zelensky. I would really like to actually sit down and chat with Zelensky.
Are we still talking about D&D?
No, but maybe tangentially. I don't know.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my life has a lot of tie-ins back to D&D, so there's a lot of easy ways to get back there if you're talking to me. I really couldn't speak to how easy it is for him. We came up with a plan. Who wants to give a brief outline of the plan we came up with?
The plan?
Just like what we were intending to do this episode?
I felt
we're
like...
just continuing to sneak through performing, right?
Yeah, moving forward towards the mountain. In the next place, I know we have to get a little bit more information, right? We have to get a little bit more information about where the goblins are, where they might be heading, blah, blah,
And
blah.
we have to decide if we want to clue in this
Kendra.
third person that we're not actually a
Kendra.
band, or if we have to really step up our band playing
Yeah,
skills, which
we
means
need-
we'd have to actually rehearse and
Yeah,
stuff.
so part of that plan does include Kendra, you cool? Question mark.
Yeah, we need to see if Kendra's
Yeah.
cool.
That was the big main thing, was basically what are we going to do about the non-party member in our midst? And then also, we don't really have any on-the-ground information about the goblins we're trying to rescue. Was the other sort of thing conclusion we came to. But then, at the very end of that recording, we got just a smidgen of canon where we saw an array of things.
We had Upset Mundane. We had space people looking at space screens. And you had number 3. Oh, the important one, because that sounds like where we're kicking off, is Margery and Gib floating in the sky above
Oh, yeah.
the,
we were in
the
the
north
clouds.
area of town.
We're back in a dream. We were in the clouds. It was Margery and Gib. Gib was asleep, and we hadn't really gotten into media res with it beyond just seeing what we were seeing. So Margery, you're in the clouds.
Can I see how far up I am, or can I see from down below what's how far I am? Maybe. What do I see?
Yeah. As you're sort of in dream space right now, so you can walk around, and so you leave Gib where he's at, sleeping, and you wander over to a hole in the clouds, and looking down, you can see that right now you are maybe more or less where over where your camp is right now. So in front of you can see the singular peak of the mountain. It doesn't quite rise to cloud height. You are above the frosty top of the mountain, but you can see all of it, and you can see the lower range of mountains off to the north. And as you're taking this all in, if you have one question about the landscape below you, feel free to ask, and then things will continue to happen.
Okay. Can I see from where my vantage point is? Can I see how many camps there are until we get closer to the top of the mountain? Is there a way to see how many stops we'll have to make, or how far the journey is?
It's tough to... It's dark, and you're, cloud height, which is unusual for you. So it
But
is
I got
tough to
night
say
vision.
exactly. You've got 60 feet of dark vision. That's not infrared.
Campfires.
Yeah, no, campfires. I'm getting to it. The thing that we can't tell is quite where you are. There's no you are here with this vantage point that you're in. But you can definitely count the campfires. There are a total of 5 campfires dotted across the side of this mountain. There's one furthest from it, two more that are slightly closer together, closer in, one very far to the north, and then a very big one sitting sort of right on the mountain. Is that 5? I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
And then the voice of Zogmoth says,
Oh,
I'm glad you're sleeping.
hi, Zogmoth.
You turn around and there's Zogmoth. Have we described what Zogmoth looks like at all?
I don't think we did when we talked to him recently.
No, we have not. I don't have a description. I don't know what a lich looks like. In my head, they all just look like what the Macleod describes them to be.
What does the Macleod describe them to be?
They all just look like
yeah.
very red robes with skeleton arms. They're skeletons.
Okay.
Like the Horned King.
That's pretty good. The Horned King is definitely a lich.
Oh, for sure. Then I pictured the Horned King because I just saw that movie.
Okay, so we're going to deviate from the Horned King. We're going to move slightly closer to Emperor Zombie in terms of his level of moisture. For lack of a better word.
No.
You know,
The
the
Horned King's really
viscosity
dry.
of his skin.
He has a
Always
skeleton.
dust. Yeah, no, this guy's got some gunk on his bones. But that's not really like the big important thing about him. In the dream space, you see there are like absences. There's like holes in him that like run through him in various places. And in this dream space, you see multiple almost lava lamp-esque sort of spheres of light floating through these spaces. You know that in real life, this is actually represented by a big tubular magical construction that you only sort of know the barest winklings of that runs throughout him. And this is Zogmoth, and he says, I'm glad you're sleeping. Come and witness something incredible. And
Okay.
the two of you float down through the clouds and do a 180 to face back towards Dekram. And as we do this 180, the color of the world changes. It's sort of a sepia-toned space. Things are grayed out except for the lava lamp globules inside of Zogmoth, which glow even brighter than ever. He's very hard to look at now that we have sort of put this filter over the world. And you can see in the distance Dekram and the mountain range that runs behind it and the dense forest that comes out to almost to where you are. But that's not the thing that draws your attention here. Because in this sort of sepia-toned lens, you see sitting over the mountains behind Dekram, it looks like someone has sort of stuck their finger, like pushed it against the back of this sepia tone, this lens of the world, and you can sort of see the texture of this lens pushing inward and twisting slightly. And Zogmoth turns to you and he says, "The barrier between worlds grows thin." And as he says that, you can see this depression, this pressure into this space twist ever so slightly, like, slow growth. And you can see on the bottom of it, closest to the ground, a purple fissure sort of opens in this sepia, and a wave of purple smoke gushes out of the pressure point and dumps down into the pinewood forest below it. Very quickly, within 2 seconds, the sepia has repaired and sealed itself back. But yeah, this is what you see.
So glad Sparkleoneous isn't here to see this.
So it looks like the barrier between worlds is blurring, and it looks like a finger is kind of smudging the colors together, and then fire comes out, and then the smudging disappears.
Purple smoke. I don't want to make the finger the focus because
Sorry.
it's not a finger. It's just this is what it looks like.
Yeah, sorry. That's also how I was picturing it. What other world is coming in on top of Dekram? Do you know?
Good
It appears
question.
to be a rent into the ethereal plane. or perchance someplace darker. Its fell influence is doing things to the woods.
Is it mundane that's causing?
No. He saw a portion of what was happening, but he was unable to see the entire picture before it began to affect the world directly.
So, is this happening right now? What is happening to all of Decro?
I can't say for certain. I've taken up residence some distance south. Gotta keep a low profile. I am doing what I can to stem the tide.
Was there more Zogmoth?
I will mount an expedition to check on Dekram when things seem more under control. Just so that we are clear, this is a result of someone else laying claim on that which Lord Velsharoon wishes to be his.
What is it?
I don't know what it looks like exactly, but it has brought these two planes into tune. Someone is using that attunement to put an undue pressure on a boundary not made to withstand it. And then he says, the sun. And then the first rays of sunshine wink over the side of the lone mountain, and you wake up.
I poked my head outside of my tent really sneakily. Is Gib still asleep? Or is Gib still in the clouds in his dream? So I ditched Gib up there.
Yeah, no, you guys just left Gib up there. Yeah, no, Gib is in the tent with you. He is not in the clouds, nor is he asleep. He was bolt awake, splayed out, spooked, when you woke up as well.
Gib, are you okay?
Something's very different.
Did you see my master Zogmoth? What did you see? Gib.
I saw a drooling tree.
Ew.
Oh, a drooling tree, you say?
A drooling tree. It bit other trees.
Any other details you can... A drooling tree that bit other trees.
He shakes his head and scampers out of the tent.
Man.
Everybody else, what's up?
Haribo took first watch, so he's probably waking up just about now, too. Prepare all of his machines for the day, make sure his synth is in working order. We gotta keep the band disguise up in front of Kandra. So, checks the synth for the day and makes, I don't know, we have breakfast? We bought food for the road.
Sparkleoneous and Barson are gathered around the campfire with Barson's working on a pot of stew.
Perfect.
Dude's definitely got breakfast.
Well, yeah, stew.
Animal
Stew
feed for days.
He's working on a pot of stew, though.
Breakfast stew. Yum. My favorite.
Not a pot of stew.
Barson only knows how to make stew.
Breakfast stew? Lunch stew?
What's in breakfast stew that makes it different than lunch stew?
Sunshine.
Got eggs.
Oh.
Eggs and sunshine.
Definitely
Those are the two
eggs.
ingredients.
Scrambled eggs.
Is the answer.
Eggs and stew is not good.
It's stew over eggs.
Stew.
While you sleep,
Eggs.
Margery, would you like some breakfast stew over eggs? There's eggs in the stew as well.
Can I just
Barson
have
gets
the
out a ladle.
Can I just have the eggs? Can I just have the eggs without the stew? Or the stew on the side?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stew on the side. What kind of monster are you?
I'm scared.
It's alright, Barson, she's not from around here.
It's really weird.
It's alright.
Yeah, you guys have a tasty breakfast. Gib comes out. Does Gib get breakfast?
Gib, of course, breakfast, please.
Breakfast stew.
Haribo makes a pot of coffee.
Would you like your stew on the side?
Nah, give it to me all over.
Give it to me straight.
Don't cover him in stew, Boston.
Please take his vest off first, otherwise it'll get gross.
That's how I save it for later. Put it in my pockets.
Oh,
Not
just
pocket
like
stew.
dripping goopy pockets. Unacceptable.
Stew, Kendra. Wake up.
Camera's still asleep.
Wake up. Wait a minute. And Sparkleoneous looks at the gang who's all awake. Sparkleoneous sort of like makes an arm motion for everyone to come close to Sparkleoneous.
We come close. Oh, I come close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come close.
Should we just leave her? We could just go right now.
Sparkleoneous, that's not very good boy of you. I thought you were a nice boy.
She adds some credibility to our journey.
It allows us to move freely within the confines of the
Indeed.
hobgoblin.
I just wanted to make sure that we kept
Territory.
our options open.
I
Do you
like
think
where
we
your
should-
brain's at.
Should we keep pretending to be a band?
I know. Let's wake her up with some music.
I think that's a fantastic idea, Sparkleoneous. A little breakfast tune to spark her day.
What do we roll again to play my... What is my instrument called? I wrote it
squeeze
down.
horn?
Squeeze horn.
What do we have to roll to play the squeeze horn?
Yeah, anyone who wants to, Gib is not going to try and assemble his instrument right now. It's still all in its bags.
He's busy eating.
Haribo will
Wake
also
up, synth.
wake up synth along with Margery.
Performance, I'm guessing.
Da.
Oh, that's a 10. That's all I got.
Oh boy, Haribo's is a 7. It's
Oh,
early.
man.
It's early. Okay.
What is like a 7 on a synth? What's
I think y'all just blew our
Discord.
cover as musicians.
No way. It's an early morning. I'm waking up.
I used to
Jesus.
remember.
So maybe there's a chance to redeem it.
Sparkleoneous
just
got an
seriously.
18, so he's gonna
Always
play
saving
loud
the
to
day.
cover up everyone else's music.
Haribo just plays really quietly. It's not on key at all, and that's why he like lowers the volume a bit because he knows he's not doing well this morning. He stayed up a bit too late talking with Kendra last night.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Fuck, it's the synth version.
Have some stew at the table. Get those eggs with a ladle.
There's a table?
Margery, not all songs are literal.
There's a table?
Mark
You
just
wanted
listens to
to.
a lot of music, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean with the first blast of the trumpet horn, I think I rolled a 3 when the first time that you yelled "wake up." Yeah, with the blast of the horn, she like starts. She doesn't really wake up. She's like, "What? What's happening? Where? What? Oh yeah, it's you guys."
Come on,
Stew?
Kendra.
What?
It is time to wake up.
Stew.
We got egg stew for you, and we got to get on the road. We're trying to get to the mountain within the coming days.
Oh yeah. All right. Thank you for the stew. Eggs, stew on top. Yes, indeed.
Just as God intended.
You know about it. All right.
This feels exactly like when I went to Grandma's house and I was the only one that didn't put the golden chicken noodle soup over my mashed potatoes, and I had them separately, and everybody made fun of me at the table. This is just like it, but in fantasy form.
Well, I'm glad
You're
we're
having
finally learning a
flashbacks.
little bit about your family, Margery, but...
The only reason you were alone is because I wasn't there.
Nice.
It's weird, right? You don't put chicken noodle soup over potatoes, mashed potatoes.
There's a strong choice.
If everyone else did it, I would do it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not a lemming.
Strange. Deeply strange. But all right. We finished
to
our
do
stew.
something absolutely fucking wild, and then to look at someone and be like, well, you're not gonna do this too? What?
do you
No
mean you're
soup
not
on
gonna put Diet Coke
no
in your
soup on
broccoli?
mashed potatoes? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you. I feel so vindicated.
I've literally never heard of soup on mashed potatoes. So
Yeah, they looked at me
No,
like I was
that's a-
crazy. I'm like, no, this isn't right, guys.
That boy's
Yeah.
not right.
I'm not even saying it's you know like not good or whatever because it might be a tasty combo, but I've never seen it or heard
The
about
fact
it.
that they acted like I was like ridiculous for thinking that they should have been separate.
Yeah,
Like
right.
why they're like why did they only brought out one bowl for everybody? I'm like
I thought you did it wrong. I'm sorry.
I thought there were more bowls coming. I don't know. Oh wow, this is good. I needed that. Thanks, guys.
Very cathartic. I'm glad we could help.
Now, put that stew on those eggs. This is totally different.
This is totally different.
Yeah, so you guys have your breakfast, load the wagon back up, disassemble camp, and off we go, trundling down the road. It's Kandra and Barson up front, because Kandra is now showing Barson which way to go. So it's y'all in the back of the wagon.
Kandra, would you mind giving Boston some directions to gear us a little more towards the mouth of that mountain there? We'd like to hit maybe one or two of these villages along the way, but we really must get to our show inside the mountain if possible.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Well, we gotta go through one of the checkpoints no matter what. After that, the path forks. The easy route goes through the other checkpoint, but if we want to try the faster route, we can cut through the woods.
What makes it harder? Because if one is easier, the other one is by definition harder.
Booby traps.
But placed by your people, Kandra?
Mm-hmm. Yep, placed by us. It's the route the enemy would take if they were trying to approach us stealthily. So that's the route we booby trapped.
Oh, sure. Would maybe a nearby group have a map of said booby traps we might be able to traverse still quickly, since we are not enemies, as you have so put, or bandits, whatever you called them?
Oh no, I'm the map. I know where all the booby traps are. I can point out the signs and things.
Oh,
but
shit, Kandra?
I'm a hobgoblin.
Absolutely. I just didn't. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, you just said you were a map. Which one is it? No, I didn't know that that every hobgoblin would have the knowledge of this place. I'm very happy you do. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't want to assume. But if you do, we should take the quick route then.
Sounds good. I think that's we can definitely do that. And so you journey on. Let's get a round of checks, wagon checks, perception, nature, any other check you think might be applicable.
That is a 16 on survival.
Haribo's rocking perception as we go. Just keeping a general watchful eye with a 21.
Sparkleoneous got a nat 1, so do with that what you will.
On
14
what, though?
on survival for Thaddeus.
What were you trying to do, Sparkleoneous?
Good question. I was sort of behind Kandra and Barson in the pot, so maybe animal handling. Maybe I was trying to encourage Stuve or explain to
Stuve.
Kandra about Stuve.
Okay.
Nature
Let's
on an
see.
explain Stuve check.
Yeah, so he's got I believe those lumps. What do they call those? Gumps maybe?
Gumps.
Gums.
Thaddeus, your survival tells you that the route that you are traveling has been recently cleared and is maintained with precision.
Okay.
Haribo, with a 21, looking out to the right, you see as sort of you are going through by the trees and the light is coming down through the leaves, you see the light glinting off of what looks like really thin golden wire in the trees. Margery, I think I need to give you a different skill that isn't survival, because it doesn't make any sense to me that an urchin would know anything about nature if you're from the city.
I mean, she could be looking out for like people trying to jump us, or like bandits on the road might be her kind of survival style.
I'm an urchin who spent like the first 9-10 years of my life living in a cabin at the edge of the woods. So there's gotta be something, right?
Okay.
Don't eat that mushroom. I did one time and it was bad.
Every time we pass a plant, she's like, yes, no, yet, no, no, no. No, Haribo, no. Gib.
Margery, at a point, A few hours into the wagon ride, we pass a brook, and looking down into the rocks of the brook going off down the thing, you recognize that some of the bottom of this brook is made of limestone. You recognize this because there were similar limestone-lined brooks by your cabin. And the thing about the limestone brooks is that almost always at some point the water would punch through the limestone and lead into a cave system.
Ooh.
Sparkleoneous, you've stretched over all the way up to Stuve to scratch his ears and whisper sweet tunes into him. And you're looking off to the left, and just for like the briefest of seconds looking through the trees, you see a head on a spike, and it has no eyelids.
Oh, wait a minute, I've got no eyelids. Oh wait, he used to have eyelids, oh god. Oh wait, I don't believe in that. Oh, taxes.
Oh, taxes.
Do you believe in taxes too?
Not taxes. Anything but taxes. You take that back.
Can't,
Alright,
Put something in you.
I'll take my
happens-
taxes back. Thank you.
Kendra, or anyone else, I see if we take a moment to watch the sun reflect in that tree line, we might be able to... Oh, there it is. That is again. There's some, like, gold wire. Kendra, can you... What is going on over there?
Yeah, Barson slows down the wagon when Kendra says, "Oh, I didn't know that they'd moved it out this far. Those are fluffy foot strands." I know that means nothing. They are.
Yes, Kendra, I understand entirely. Thank you.
Whatever
You can
it
stop
means, I'm
there. Oh,
getting
wait.
back in the bucket.
No, I would like to know still.
Those are the webs of the golden fluffy foot spider. We've traded for a few of them from the Underdark. Phenomenal guard spiders. Their thread retains tautness and elasticity over long distances, allowing them to act as, long-range detection creatures.
Oh, fantastic. I had heard of also that they make incredibly strong ropes and other building materials like that. Getting your hands on a golden fluffy foot is quite the feat.
Well, we're all the goblins that we lost to getting them into their spots.
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, vicious predators.
Yeah. Interesting. I myself have been trying to strike up a trade with some merchants in the Underdark as of the past few years. Hard to get in with merchants like that favor the underground and the dark. You happen to have contacts?
Not me personally, but our war chief does, I'm sure, or one of his council. That must be how we've been getting the fluffy foots.
This is a recent acquisition?
In the last 3 or 4 months, I would say. I didn't think that they'd gotten enough to put one in the village that we're coming up on.
Interesting. You see so much out on the road. We've been so many places. It's curious. Finding a group of folk that have merchandised with the Underdark is few and far between.
Man, you must have had some incredible lives seeing all the different places out there. We got a little bit of time before we get to the next campsite. Care to tell a road story? What's a thing you've seen out on the road?
Oh, me? Oh, of course. I've seen so much out on this beautiful plain. I have traveled around quite a bit. I spent about a year, 10 months of my life living with a group of folk that flitted around on wings, called themselves fairies of a sort. They knew some powerful tricks, but don't know, hard to describe them. Beautiful folk. Powerful connection to the nature around themselves.
When you say tricks, what do you mean? Is that...
Well, they just, yeah, I myself have tried to get to the bottom of exactly what they were doing for quite some time, but
Haribo.
I found my... Yes?
Haribo. Do you mean magic? Did they do magic and you can't explain the magic that they've done?
Kendra, we talked about this
Thank
last
God.
night. I just think that I left
You can
before...
call it magic if you don't understand it. It's okay.
I can also call it
You can come down and
really
sit
now,
on the
I can
ground
call
with
it
the rest
whatever
of
I
us
wanted.
cave people.
Okay, well, that's not the point, Kendra. That wasn't the point of where I was going with this. It was incredible to spend my time there, and I'm sure that you could have picked up some cool ingredient stuff there, but no, I do not believe that was magic either, Kendra.
Well, then what about this then? And Sparkleoneous casts prestidigitation, filling the whole wagon with light.
Oh.
Sparkleoneous, you're not helping.
I'm just curious, honestly.
He's in denial. It's,
It's not that I'm in denial. We've had this conversation. Maybe not you and I, Sparkleoneous. I don't necessarily know how you're creating the light you create, but as your light comes down, Haribo is casting light from his belt, and he says, I can make it just as bright, though. And I don't think that you could explain what is happening here. Would you call it magic? That's not... Okay, all right. Then maybe it is just magic.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to rag on you. It's just funny.
No, I mean, there were many things that I could not explain there, for sure, but I don't yet know if I would call them magic, Kendra. No.
Kendra, one time, the lord of a town threw a whole keg of dragon's wine at me.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, I caught it and put it on the
Was it a
ground.
good
That would have
thing?
really fucked me up if I had eaten all of that.
Oh, it's really weird hearing such language in your voice.
This is actually a story about restraint, not of partying hard, Kendra.
You've got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And by that I mean kegs of dragon's wine.
What about you, Thaddeus and Margery? Do you have any fun stories about your times out on this plane?
Well, I can verify the keg of dragon's wine.
Yeah, I was also there.
Well,
Good.
it's a party over here,
I can
Kendra.
see you two aren't bards.
Yeah. That's
Look,
not
there,
really
look,
Thaddeus'
he's
strong
security, and Margery is new to our little group here. We'll teach her how to tell the story one of these days, Margery.
I'm
Margery
sure
only
Margery's
has
got all
11.
kinds of stories.
Margery only has 11 in charisma.
We'll teach you how to pretend to be a bard one of these days, Margery.
Here, I'll roll to play
What?
my horn.
No, that was an M. That was an M thing. That was not a. That was not a Haribo. Grumble.
To avoid having to converse, I will roll to tune my instrument very quietly. That way no one can talk to me.
Okay.
What
You
is that?
Who
is it
doesn't know
pro-
how to tune the instrument that you have? Yeah,
It's
let's
no
see it.
tuning. She's just like sitting there squeaking the bell, being like, "No, hold on. No.
Make a deception roll.
Deception.
My
Maybe
God.
Yeah, no, this is a lie that you're doing right
This
now.
is a lie you're doing."
I could be tuning up. I just don't know how. I could be doing it.
Exactly, you don't know how.
Okay, let me find.
You can explain to me how you do it.
Let me find my. Okay, there it is.
A good roll means that you definitely look like you're tuning up.
Okay, what is a 15 a good roll, or is that kind of mid ground?
No, that's just, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You look artsy.
I'm so focused on my instrument. It's
At
my
some
life.
point, you're even looking at the light through it. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's aloof and also hyper-focused and in like a don't talk to me.
Perfect. I'm so mysterious.
And with that energy, we round a sharp corner and come up to a palisade fence with a pair of doors made of logs sharpened at the top. Standing on either side of the of this door is a pair of hobgoblin guards. Total of 4 guards, 2 with longbows, 2 with swords. And they say, state your rank and business.
We all look at Kendra.
Sparkleoneous.
Oh, I guess we don't.
Level 3 bard.
Oh, yes.
Master of ceremonies and horn player in kissing booth.
Yep. Haribo Tamagotchi, level 3 bard. Synthesizer in you said kissing booth.
It's on the side of the wagon, as you can see.
Both of the all of the hobgoblins except for Kendra, kind of glare at you guys. Make charisma saving throws.
Fair.
For all of us, or just those who
No,
have spoken?
those 2. The 2 that
Okay.
spoke.
Oh, turns out I'm actually good at charisma. Okay. 19.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, indeed.
Big 22.
wow. Okay. Look at you guys.
He didn't expect you to succeed.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not quite like a glare at the two of you, but there is a long, awkward silence
Oh, yeah.
that lets everybody know that that was not
What they were looking for.
what we were trying to do. And into the silence, Kendra goes, Kendra Halfpike, spear rank, escort duty for a group of bards up to the Citadel. If the chief here likes the sound of them, or whatever.
Haribo nudges Gib and he says, Gib, your turn.
No.
No.
Oh, God.
Thank you for prompting a what does Gib do check.
And I'm Gib, Master of Ceremonies, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
Gib hops out of the wagon and all of the hobgoblins' tents, and then he goes over to the closest one, and he does like a specific bow, and he hands the closest hobgoblin a silver piece that he was given for market day, and he says, "For your duty and your clan." And the hobgoblins are all very surprised, and then Gib doesn't say anything else, and he scurries back into the wagon.
Haribo is also very surprised. M is also very surprised.
Sparkleoneous thinks to himself, that's my boy.
All right, Thaddeus, follow that up.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do from there?
Are we all supposed to do something?
No, I just
no.
was continuing to push the envelope until I couldn't anymore.
The four guards look at each other and nod and push the gate open, and you guys go into encampment number 2. The last one was not particularly well defended. It was mostly like a town more than like a fort. This one's got sharpened stake walls and is like a war preparation barracks kind of a deal. As you go in, you see a long rectangular tent with elaborate, no, not elaborate, rudimentary but large smithing facilities. On the other side, there is a large sty in which many pigs mill about. Further back, you can see tents and then more fortified looking hut structures. And in the center of this, as you're riding in the center, there is it's not quite like a keep, but it is like a central wooden structure. Only 1 story tall, but built sort of like a fortress, like a little squat fortress. And in front of this building, there is a big tree stump with a rectangular block of wood sitting on top of it. And as we pull up, Kendra says, "Better go inside the command center and report to the chief."
Do you want anyone to come with you, or you good?
I just proved to be very helpful outside with those guards. Would you like me to be in there with you and the chief?
Maybe we have Gib go with you.
You know what? I'll roll for that too.
No, wait, hold on. I don't know that we should let Gib go out alone. We're still working with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he doesn't look quite housebroken yet.
Well,
Gib hisses at her. She's like, "Yeah,
point proven.
I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna go and report. It's, it'll be fine." And
And
she,
then Gib pisses on the floor.
Awesome.
so we're in the wagon. Do we want to obey Kendra? Do we want to reconnoiter? What is,
Was Kendra's command to stay here? Don't move?
Sit tight. That's what Kendra said.
Oh, sit tight? Okay.
I'm just excited to play another show. Everyone
Yeah.
got the set list memorized?
I'm willing to sit tight, but I'm also very much on the lookout.
I feel like we have been doing a lot of jamming as we have done our shows and our songs. Maybe if we had any sort of... We've done a lot of rehearsals separately, right? I'm curious if we went into a show with an idea of a song we would play. some vibes, some timings. I'm not saying we do a full rehearsal, that we even need that. We are all incredible at our instruments, of course, but just any sort of idea might give us a leg up in our performance.
I know a few Goblin war songs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe we could tell the tale of Gribbick the Brave.
Oh, you want to do like a
story?
Yeah, like an Odyssey song. We tell a whole story here. Yeah, we could get that intensity going.
I'm into that. That's an interesting idea. Are we trying to like game plan a song? What is the?
My thought behind this was, I feel like every time we go in, we have not yet ever talked about how we play as a team and how we have improved or like come to play a song together. Technically, so far, it's straight up just been jam sessions that have gone mostly okay. So my thought was that if we had a game plan, maybe we come in with intensity. We say like Haribo goes first, then Gibbs gonna come in on an upswing or whatever. Like we have a plan to come in on music. Maybe we could get as a mechanic like some form of advantage or like up on our performance in this new space, since we have never actually planned out a performance. You know what I mean? Like a band would have. Because when a band performs, they're not leaving it up to chance as if they're gonna do well, right? They've done a lot of things. So I'm curious if there's anything we could put in place that gives us the mechanics of being a band that have begun to play together.
That's a
That
good
makes
idea.
sense. Yeah.
I think if everyone contributes a meaningful idea to our song, I will give us advantage on the performance checks to like debut it. Yes.
Well, Sparkleoneous has the lyrics to Gribbick the Brave ready to go.
How long is it? What is the tone of Gribbick the?
It's like a
liturgy?
3-verse structure, couple choruses, sort of a closer of a song. You wouldn't want to open with that.
Oh my god.
Does it build?
Yeah, it builds to a goblin screech at the end. Don't worry, I'll teach you all how to do the goblin screech.
We all look at Gib. No? Okay.
I'm not a goblin.
No, fuck, right. Sorry, that's Koryak. My bad. No, we don't look at Gib. Shit.
That's pretty rude.
Stop.
Yep.
Not what I... No.
We all go.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Sparkleoneous has contributed his portion to this song. 3 more notions. Thaddeus, yours is especially fun because yours is something the other 3 and me have to try and figure out how to do something with.
Actually, I was curious, Thaddeus, even watching our stuff acting as security, how do you feel in keeping a beat? Because the synthesizer is almost always, I don't know if you know this, almost always improved by a little bit of a beat, of a bass we can get going. Even just the tapping of an axe could get us there.
I can tap my axe. I can probably do that rhythmically to a degree.
Yeah. You know what? We can even use it as the beat of the song. Keep it going at the same pace the whole time we build off that. That could even get, if we're talking like Goblin War music, right? That's going to give us the driving beat we need. Maybe we can get a clap going at some point in the audience, get them involved. Audiences love being involved.
I'll give that a shot. I'm willing to help the band out.
Yeah, and if anyone gets out of hand, you can drop the beat and beat their ass, but but also and then with that I can build cleanly. The synthesizer, like I just said, is improved upon by having a bass line, and if that is supplied by our glorious head of security, then I think that I can give us a good driving rhythm far better than I was doing back at the campfire.
Okay, so Sparkleoneous has established what the song is and sort of its vibe. Thaddeus is coming in and bringing in a beat. Margery and Haribo, what are you bringing to the table?
I felt like I just said what I was bringing to the table.
He's bringing the synth.
I'm bringing.
You're bringing the synth.
I'm bringing the synth, but I think while Thaddeus is bringing the beat, I brought Thaddeus.
You brought the Thaddeus.
I brought Thaddeus
Okay.
to the table. I brought the beat to the table. You know,
Then I still need one from Thaddeus.
Dang it! I thought that. Dang it.
No, you can't. No. Only one cake. You can't have it and eat it.
Here's my other idea. If
Hey.
I tap the axe for the base, and I jiggle my shoulders a little bit, the chainmail will give you like the tambourine sound.
Oh, very.
There it is. There it is. So the bass is
Huh.
my thing, and he's the tambourine. I brought Thaddeus, and Thaddeus brought instruments.
Huh.
And I thought maybe I could do the bass line on the squeeze horn. That way, I remember the bass was always easier to play in Beatles Rock Band. That way, I don't have to, be as good at the squeeze horn. Because I also think I only get 4 notes out of it, anyways. I think that was established.
We can figure out how to lower and mute the squeeze horn a bit to give you a bit of a bassy
Yeah.
squeeze horn.
Okay. Interesting.
What's wrong with the bass squeeze horn?
Nothing especially. I'm not quite seeing the how, but I'll think on it as we go.
At the very minimum, while Kendra is talking to the dude, it gives us something to practice to like begin working together, right? Like we can begin working out our first attempt with an actual bass line with Thaddeus tapping his axe. We can work out, I can try to mute Margery's squeeze horn so we can get the proper like new out of it.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Thaddeus, I want either a performance check or a dexterity save for your like rhythmic.
Let's take a look. I think I'm gonna have to do a dex save because I at least have some pluses on that. Oh, all right. So that's gonna be a 17 for the dex save.
Wow. Okay.
Fire.
I think for Margery, perhaps an intelligence save, trying to work out your new way to play the squeeze horn. Haribo.
I feel like at this, unless you have something, it maybe if there's a check we can give it for like composing, because it feels like Haribo is beginning to like work out how to actually blend these instruments, right? Like Haribo is working with the instruments of Margery and Thaddeus, trying to create the right backing for our lead, obviously.
Wisdom save.
Yeah, hell yeah, I love
I
that.
got a 14 on my intelligence save.
Wisdom, that is an 11.
Okay. Sparkleoneous, are you gonna try and perform on top of this, or are you just gonna take this all in?
I'm sorry, I've been writing lyrics for this song. Where are we at?
That's exactly what he was
You're-
doing. That's exactly what he was doing.
Never mind. That's what you're doing. Okay. I don't want to yet try and describe what this sounds like. I want to sort of cook on it for a second and then get another set of checks. But I will say that it sounds very different from the last song.
What about Gib?
Gib does not want to set up all of his equipment is glass bowls in stands that he touches with water and like makes the circle sounds with. I don't think he wants to set that up in the back of the wagon.
Oh, so we can't practice until the show.
Well, at least until we're out of the wagon and in a
Shit.
like a spot.
Fair enough.
It's like a drum kit that if it falls over, it all breaks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we gave it to a little crocodile boy.
Also, he did break a bowl or so last time, so.
Yeah, no, he did also knock one over, so I think he's like down to 4.
Gib, would it benefit you if I made you a totally new, different instrument? Or are you a big fan of these bowls? Because I like the bowls, don't get me wrong.
Give him symbols.
We can give him symbols. I don't actually have a ton of
Symbols
tools.
would be something. I think actually,
I just want to check in how you're doing with the bowls. I
Or
know that you don't want to
maraca,
set them
an
up
egg.
now, but
well, the last performance sure did identify a weakness in the current setup. I don't know if we've got the stuff right now, but if we could make some sort of like a rack or something to hold all of the bowls, and like maybe it's got cushion or something to like keep them all in place so that just the tops of them stick out and we're not, then the only risk is me dropping the whole rack, but at least I'm not knocking over individual balls. I don't know if we've got the stuff for that, but, you know, when we have an opportunity to revamp the instrument.
I'll definitely look into that. That actually gives me an idea. Yeah, and Haribo goes to writing in his notebook.
Okay, and somewhere in the middle of, like, practice, Kendra comes back out, and she stops and she says, "Ah, thank goodness. I talked to the chief. I described your show, gave him the pitch. He said okay, but he didn't like the sound of what I said that you guys played last night."
Oh, don't worry, we're not doing any experimental stuff this time around. We're going to play classic, the tale of Sir Gribbick the Brave. You know, the story of the goblin hero.
Sir Gribbick.
I don't know if he was actually a sir, but you know, it's respectful.
That's an old one. I haven't heard that one in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're sort of doing our own take on it, but you know, the story is there.
It's been a hot minute since we've done the classics. Last night we were reveling a little bit in our newfound sound, but trust me when I say the classics is something that we are really good at.
We've always been good at the classics.
Well, all right.
This is a full Odyssey, apparently, Sparkleoneous says we are playing tonight. Full Odyssey.
It's not a short song.
3-act movement here.
She leads Stu deeper into the camp to an empty tent that's sort of festooned with little bips and bobs of like nature-y things, feathers and skulls and stones and little jars of dirt. And she says, "This is the mage's quarters for whenever we're in camp. You know, you're my guest, so park a squat or whatever."
Oh wait, Kendra, you're not just like some mage. This is like important to your people.
There aren't many mages in the goblin tribes, so you know we're all special.
Hey, well, good on you, girl.
Be careful with Stu. You don't have any other camels in the camp, do you? He's a camelable.
No, I've never. It's my first camel, so.
Yeah, he'll bite the humps right off.
Oh.
That's how he
think
gets
those
the
came
extra humps.
They don't usually.
Okay, interesting.
Alright, do we have sort of a quiet place that we could rehearse, Kendra? Sort of away from prying ears? Don't want any spoilers.
Unfortunately, not really. We're, inside of camp now. There's goblins all over. And they're all over the place. They're not like in and amongst everything that you guys are doing because you guys are in the mage's tent. But, in all of the other tents, there are goblins and hobgoblins going about their assigned tasks.
Any that we would recognize?
Well, not you. You thought Gib was a goblin.
Shut. Keep it. keep it to yourself. Any other goblins with like tails and long snouts and scales?
Yeah.
No, but-
everyone make perception checks. Haribo, make yours with disadvantage.
Fuck, that's not fair.
20! Sorry, I'm excited.
I'm unexcited now.
10?
17 with disadvantage.
It's technically
Nice.
a 23, but
But straight up critical.
15
20
for
than that.
Thaddeus.
Okay.
You know the answer to my question.
Sparkleoneous, you're busy still working on your lyrics. Thaddeus, you see that there is a clump of trees, fairly tall trees, inside of the border fence. And you see a group of hobgoblins carrying a dead pig towards that copse of trees.
Okay.
But Margery, you see a goblin wearing a piece of bone-crafted ornamentation that you think is familiar, And once you point it out to Haribo, with your 19, you recognize it as some of the handiwork of one of the goblins who is still back at in the tribe. This is his handiwork.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, Kendra, with the show coming up tonight and us performing, ooh, Haribo looks tense, such a classic. It actually would be pretty lovely if maybe, you know, we can't get a full-on private session together, but maybe you could show some of us around the town while we do like maybe some individual sessions with Sparkleoneous, because this is one of his classics, and we want to make sure we get it right.
I'm sorry, what? You want to do what?
I mean, there was a few things in town that we could check out. We are on the road, and after we leave, like, it would be good to be, well stocked. Maybe we could check in on your blacksmith, see if we could do any trade there. I do have some ores. But I'm curious mostly if we could, check out your town, get out of here for a bit. Mostly we need some private, I'm trying to tack on to Sparkleoneous' request.
What my friend here is saying is that he needs some pointers. He hasn't performed this one in a moment. Need to run him through some things, some bars he missed last time we performed this. And that goes for everyone here. And Sparkleonious's pebble eyes sort of glower at everyone. He's very serious about the classics.
Are you trying to wander around the town and go and talk to people, or are you trying to get Kendra to leave, or are you trying to leave Sparkleoneous alone?
Yeah. So to set it up, like, in the mechanics of it, the goal of my pitch is to have Kendra willingly show us around the town, some of us around the town, while we continuously switch out with Sparkleoneous. That way we can share information with each other about what we find as we do.
Sparkleoneous can teach you the song.
And we can, we can practice the things we just talked about with that. And 2, we can learn about the town. 3, we can share information with each other without all being together at one time. But the biggest thing is that we get Kendra out of here so that we can actually have that conversation amongst one another without her being around until we can't bring her in on this, I think, at the moment. So the goal was to get her out of the tent so we could share information.
I'm following now. I'm super
I
down
laid a
for
plan
that.
without telling you the actual plan, but I set it up, but I didn't actually tell you.
Yeah, no,
so that would make sense, yeah.
Haribo suggested it as Haribo, and me as the dungeon master did not understand what Haribo was saying.
For sure.
Okay. I think the only thing I will say with this plan is that if we are doing like one-on-one updates, it is going to be telephone all through Sparkleoneous. Like what we learn.
I love it. I love that personally so much.
So, Sparkleoneous, who needs the most help?
Gib.
Oh, not the one I was expecting, but all right, Gib.
Number 1, Gib. Number 2, Margery. Number 3.
It would be, I think it would be interesting, maybe very helpful for me if I could go early on Sparkleoneous. I feel
fine.
with all these new instruments, bringing them together might be helpful.
First.
Take giveaway first.
You're with me.
Oh, okay. All right, into the lion's den.
Okay, this should be especially interesting then. So, Sparkleoneous and Haribo stay in the tent, and Kendra, Margery, Thaddeus, and Gib.
What a team! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Please
to
no.
go search for clues or something.
This wasn't even our idea, but now we're doing it.
I didn't hear anyone say no. I don't want to do this.
As you guys go to leave,
That's fair.
Haribo says, just get a lay of the land. See if you can find any interest in the best spots for our show. Anything about the town. I nod at Thaddeus, hopefully secretively.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see. I think the first thing you guys do, it takes probably 10-15 minutes to do a lap of the encampment. You go by the front, you see the pigs, and you see the blacksmith. As you go past the command post on the other side, you go past the copse of tall trees. They closely border the forest, just with the sharpened palisade fence, just separating this group of trees from the rest of them. You guys go around further past the trees,
Did I see what they were doing with the dead pig at the copse of trees?
I know what they're doing.
I mean, I could guess, but
What do you think they're doing?
They're feeding
I
the
think
spiders.
they're cooking it. I hadn't thought about the spiders.
Yeah, I mean, Sparkleoneous is right on the money. You don't see specifically what has happened to the pig, but as you are coming around the side, because you guys have seen this and know what to look for, you see a bunch of these golden threads extending from this group of trees out into the rest of them.
Okay.
Past the copse of trees, we're back into Goblin Residential. Closest to the trees
Goblin
is the Hobgoblin dwellings, sort of long houses made of wood, whereas like past that there are some tents, and then there are some goblin dwellings that are basically igloos made of mud. Yeah, and so you've done a lap around the thing, and Kander says, "Well, I guess it's time for the next person to sub out."
Did we
Which I
decide?
think we did. It's Margery, I believe.
Sounds about right.
So Margery, go in and talk to Sparkleoneous and Haribo.
They're feeding the spiders. Those spiders. They are nearby, closer than I thought they were going to be.
There are. We need to set up something intense here. There are some of the goblins are here. I don't know if they are all here, but some of them are here. I have noticed some of the members of that community already in and about this commune. If they have just dropped off goblins along the way, the exit of this journey is going to change. I can't say how significantly.
I'm just gonna put it out there that you have not seen any specific members of the Goblin tribe. You have seen like jewelry that originated from the Goblin tribe, but it was not being worn by a goblin that you recognized.
Oops, that's kind of why I set all this up, because it seemed a bit more intense. Okay, the goblins have been through here. We need to figure out where they have been and what they have going. Did you learn anything about the spiders on your tour, Margery? Also, what did me and Sparkleoneous get up to? Sorry. I'll answer your question first.
Just really quick, what happened with Sparkleoneous and Haribo is Sparkleoneous just like slapping his two wet hands together. You're not respecting the material. You have to have a reverence for Sir Godric.
Sparkleoneous, I can lay down a track. I am worried about the goblins at this moment.
You need to understand this goblin. The trials
Okay,
he
run
went
it through
the tribulations.
Okay, run it through me again from the top, and then we cut back to.
Yeah, the next vignette, I do want like the full synopsis of this tale of Godric, so that I can also know what it is. All right, Haribo is in the group. Margery is out. Sparkleoneous and Margery, can you deafen yourselves?
Yep, just send me a message or whatever whenever you're
Yeah,
ready.
I'll take my earbuds out.
Interesting. Okay, we'll message the group.
And what am I doing?
You're still in the group. It's
Okay,
the tour
all
is
right.
now Gib, Thaddeus, Haribo, Kandra.
All right.
What is the purpose of this round? I figured one of you may have like a specific request of a thing you want to see.
I'm curious about these. I've heard a bit of the gold feet spiders.
Oh, you want to see the fuzzy foot, the golden fuzzy foots?
Yeah. I'm just curious while we're checking it out. You could tell us a little bit about the properties. I mean, I've heard of them. I'm curious if maybe we could do some trade and acquire some of these materials, be it through clothing or whatnot. I'm not really sure. Maybe you could tell me.
The properties of what now? I'm sorry.
Just the general fuzzy foot, the silk. I've heard that it's strong, but I don't quite know how it's used beyond just a strong thread of silk.
Well, let's see. And you guys are walking. You guys are like making a beeline towards the copse of trees now. And as you're going into the copse of trees, Kandra is telling you what she knows about the fuzzy foot silk. She tells you that the fuzzy foot silk is not really used for like clothing because it's not super comfortable, but it is known for its rigidity and its elasticity, like I've said. The other thing is that it conducts electricity. Was the other interesting property that it does have. But she does also say that she's not like in deep with like the beast tamers or whatever. Like it is and like an Underdark person who has like taught them like Fuzzyfoot care, and B, she's just not part of that hobgoblin unit. But as we get in, we come into an enclosure made of like bamboo in a crosshatch pattern that goes up into the dimness of the trees. You would say it's probably a 30-foot diameter enclosure and perhaps 60 feet tall. And you look in there and you squint and it's difficult to see. Do either of you want to make perception checks?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll do one for Gib too.
Dirty 20.
Give you a
That would be-
16.
A 21 for Thaddeus.
Yes.
Wow. Gib is like squinting into the dimness, but as you two come in, you catch a sheen of gold up near the top of the enclosure, and you look up and you see it. Dangling from the top of this bamboo enclosure is a spider approximately 15 feet in diameter. It is jet black, except for the final like segments of its front 4 feet, which are bright and shiny and covered in long golden hairs.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
Yeah, Thaddeus, with your 21, you see that at the back of this spider, the threads, all of the different like alert threads, twist into a large bundle that the spider is like sitting on.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you've seen the golden fuzzyfoot.
Wow.
This is beautiful, isn't she?
Indeed, indeed. Are there any carekeepers around here?
There's a hobgoblin sitting in a chair, watching the spider on the far side of the enclosure.
Would I be all right to have a chat with one of these beast tamers over here? I'd be really curious if I could acquire some of these materials.
Probably not. Probably not a thing that I wouldn't. Just like, I don't think that they would love an outsider asking questions about the Fuzzyfoots.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, I think now we go back in, and Thaddeus, you go into the hut and tell Sparkleoneous and Margery what you guys saw on your tour.
No, Margery, I need more reverence in that.
Oh, okay.
Hello, friends.
Hello, Thaddeus.
You will not believe what we saw. So we got to see one of the golden fuzzy-footed spiders, and we learned a little bit more about their thread. So their thread is extremely strong, very elastic, very durable, and it conducts this thing called electricity.
I don't know what that is.
I don't.
What does conduct mean? Like a song?
Well, you would know. You're the bard. We actually got to see one of the spiders that they're keeping, and it is a massive creature.
I hate that.
And it sits on a nest where all those golden spider webs we've seen are all connected up to a bundle, and that spider's sitting on them.
Awful.
So it's impressive and a little intimidating and a little worrying at all the same time. So we need to be careful around those.
How close are they to where we're staying?
Do you remember the big, as we walked around the yard, the big copse of trees?
Mm-hmm.
They're just beyond that. Now it's in an enclosure, but I don't know that I'd trust it if it wanted out.
They did lose a lot of goblins getting it in there, is what you guys have been told.
Yeah, so
Sparkleoneous
I-
bolts with his whole body.
I've heard of
Ew.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
clever girl.
those dinosaurs didn't have anything to do with electricity.
You know, you definitely got me. Oh no, how do I explain conductivity?
Electricity. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean when they channel lightning magic into it, you know, anyone touching the thread gets zapped is how they understand it.
Wild.
Okay, Thaddeus and Sparkleoneous. Do we want to do another round of explore the town, or do we want to go to perform?
I do one more round. I can deafen myself, and you can just ping me when you want me to come back.
Do you guys have an angle you guys wanna explore? One more round?
I mean, we've seen the layout, we've seen the spiders.
That was
Is
what
there
I wanted
more-
to see.
There's-
So.
Yeah,
big
is there more
building.
to the town that we've not seen?
There's the big fortress or the big building towards the one end.
You haven't looked in the command center.
Yeah, that's a command center. Thank you.
And you haven't gone to, you've seen a goblin wearing jewelry. You could go and talk to him and ask him where he got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But how
I
would
think
you find him?
we could wander around with Kendra and just chat with her a little bit about the goblins that have come through here recently. Because if she's knowledgeable about the depth of things that she's knowledgeable about, she might know about that too.
That's a good point.
Then Thaddeus, Sparkleoneous, you guys get to work on the rhythm section.
Don't worry, it's an epic. You're going to play the same thing for 20 minutes.
I can't wait. All right.
More of an endurance practice.
Good
Ping
aerobics.
us when you want us back.
Tough
Okay,
session, huh, Margery?
and-
Sparkleoneous is a driver in there.
Yeah, he kept telling me I wasn't being reverent enough.
Well, were you being reverent?
Probably not. I mean, I worship a god, so probably not enough for him. Atheist.
It would be pretty irreverent of you to be reverent to something else if you worship a god like that.
Interesting. I'm curious about what he truly wanted from you in there. Either way, I'm sure our performance will be fine. Have you noticed the goblins around here, Margery? Kendra, I noticed some of this this jewelry they are wearing. It's not I don't know, it reminds me of other goblins I've seen elsewhere. I don't know, maybe far to the south or whatnot. You guys into art trade as well?
The subtlest of nudges.
Get on to this other. Here's this other thing I want to talk about, please.
What a specific question. Let's see. Tough to speak to. Hobgoblins don't go in for a whole lot of ornamentation. We're pretty utilitarian. The goblins, though, they seem to wind up with a lot of downtime somehow. And so they make a lot of crafts. I do think that they trade them amongst each other. If you can point them out to me, I can say more. But goblins be crafting. If there are follow-up questions, if there are perception checks, Kendra is going to actually look around and see. Kendra rolled an 8.
Where is she walking us to this time? Just to be curious about what I want to check out.
We are looping around the back of the Hobgoblin facility. At the very back of we cut between the Hobgoblin huts and the sort of goblin mounds. At the back of this palisade, there is a creek, a brook that winds underneath the palisade fence in and back out. Back here, there are a group of goblins doing some laundry, and you guys are walking along by, and your route's going to take you, past this and back on this other side between the spider forest and the hobgoblins, and then I think cut directly across in front of the command center.
Okay.
And then back past the pigs towards Sparkleoneous again.
See what these goblins are up to back here. See if there's anything I can point out to Kendra, if we can spot any of that. It doesn't have to be the same piece of jewelry, but similar pieces that I can point to ask the question I'm trying to ask. But yeah, I think we'll see. Perception +3, 17.
Okay. You do see, it is not the same, you can definitely see that the style is different, but it is the same, necklace ornamentation on some of these goblins back here. And you do point it out to Kendra, and Kendra says, oh yeah, it's a religious thing.
Yeah.
They wear those so that their god can't see them.
Sorry, what? They do it so their god can't see them. It's like a ward?
Kinda, basically, yeah. like the primary god of the goblins themselves is an entire dick, and so he's not actually one that they want to come into contact with. And goblins have a fable about him that one of the other goblinoid gods, sort of during the conquest, sicked a wild beast on their god and savaged him. And ever since then, he's had a petrifying fear of these beasts. The story varies from like tribe to tribe, but they make their ornamentation out of the teeth of that beast. And because the beast savaged that god, they think that, you know, his fear keeps him from seeing them if they're wearing the teeth of the beast. You know?
So
It's sort of a fun story.
Yeah,
What's
so a
the name
goblin
of the
may...
god and the beast?
Gabe can't pronounce it. The beast varies from tribe to tribe.
What about this one?
These particular goblins have like possum teeth.
What
Death by
do
possum.
what does Haribo goblins like wear? If I've recognized now that this is not
They're
possum
Haribo
teeth.
goblins. What beast do you want? What beast do you want?
Oh,
Now that you know it's a significant. What do you want their significant beast to be?
their significant beast is displacer beasts. Panthers? They don't have to kill them. I don't know how they get the teeth. You know, they might buy them, but panthers? I don't know if that a big cat of some kind.
Yeah.
Crocodile, maybe? Crocodile.
Ooh, you know what? Yeah, I like crocodile. We've talked about a lot of crocodiles in this podcast. Crocodile.
Crocodile is good. I'm having difficulty imagining any group of goblins take on a big cat, but I do think that enough goblins could take on a crocodile. Just
Oh,
'cause
and
they're
like
not
get
as
its
fast.
teeth so they can
Get its
fasten their
teeth.
jewelry. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. I like
You
this.
can
I
lure
like this.
into a trap, some kind of spiked trap.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
you could drop a big rock on it. They're not very fast unless they're, you know, aware. So yeah,
Good pull,
crocodile
Grace.
teeth.
Crocodile teeth.
Croc tribe. Okay, so then we're gonna, I think, then call that the end of the walk. Let's go back and tell them about the goblins.
Well, we've got a little bit more information on the goblins, I guess. Wait, are we all in the tent? And is Kendra with us?
You say you have a band meeting. She's not in the band.
Yeah, band meeting.
Yeah, pre-show warm-ups.
Now she gives us privacy. Fantastic.
Green room. Gotta respect the green room.
Could have just done. All right, perfect. Well, we discovered that while there are some of the goblins for sure have come through here, though we need to figure out a little bit more about which ones talk to which. But I think there are a few in town that know the direction our goblins have headed.
Well, that gives us a couple more avenues of dialogue, and to be honest, things are shaping up great. I think we're going to be the talk of the town after this show.
I mean,
Yeah.
either way, I think we will be.
Yeah, right. At this point,
yeah, but
everyone
I
has
mean,
seen our face.
they'll talk to us, not at us.
Yeah. Sorry, I panicked, guys. I thought I saw a goblin I recognized, and I wanted us to immediately jump on the quest. And I figured maybe next time I can hold a little bit of restraint into diving into a new.
Listen, we all have our rock moments, okay?
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
I don't think I would consider this rock bottom, Margery. I thought I
Like,
saw
when
a
got
goblin.
when Grace got distracted by the rocks, the whole
Yep,
episode.
we're messing with you.
No, that's
Oh,
fair.
no!
That's totally fair, Margery. That's totally fair. There will be more glowing rocks out there for all of us.
Such a bad urchin. Oh no, I'm too trusting.
But we have this performance coming up tomorrow. Tonight, and we must practice as a team. Maybe. Do we need to practice
Yeah.
as a team? How do you feel, Sparkleoneous, having run us all through our solos?
Yeah,
As long as we all start at the same time, we're going to be okay.
Is there
Everyone knows
anybody
their
that-
parts, and it continues for 20 minutes, and then that's the end.
This time you guys have your back to... No, you have your back to the fire again. There's the crowd of goblins is between you and the command center. They've built a fire in a big fire pit in front of the smithy. What is the first instrument that plays in this song?
The percussion.
Yeah, Thaddeus for sure with the laying the bass line out.
Oh yeah.
You guys have like set up, like you've pulled the loose board off of the wagon for Thaddeus to thump his axe down onto. And so Thaddeus is thumping his axe down and every now and again doing a little shake, a little like bob up and down to get his hi-hat. And as you guys start the song, you are looking out over the sea of goblins, and you see coming out of the command center the chief of the tribe. He is in the most resplendent armor that we'll describe in more detail another time. And as you start the song, coming out of the command center alongside the chief is a short, gray humanoid.
No, fuck you! No way! Oh my god! No!
We're gonna have to perform our asses off.
No!
Yeah.
And wait,
My lyrics aren't going anywhere. We'll just have to leave on this cliffhanger.
Bro, we have to play a show in front of a group of people that think we're the band we are, and also in front of a man that knows we are not the band. We just have to hope he doesn't recognize us. Oh no.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't recognize Sparkleoneous.
Hey, you've got you've got advantage on this performance check.
On the
on
performance?
these performance checks.
Not on the hiding from the gray man checks, though.
maybe we have costumes. Did we ever decide that?
Yeah. Let's
disguises?
cut back to the green room and we're all doing the warm up and we just fade out on all of us going big booty, big booty, big booty. Big booty, big booty.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, A Wider World, DM'd by Theodore Stringer. The players this season are Lawrence Jennings as Sparkleoneous, Grace Stringer as Margery Ridgeback, Mike Harrison as Thaddeus Ofkoot, and myself, M. Williams, as Haribo Tamagotchi. Huge thanks to Tyler David Poe for composing some of the music you heard in this episode. You can find his information below, along with all of the other additional sound credits. You can support this podcast directly by becoming a member of our Patreon. The URL there is patreon.com/ddadpodcast. That's patreon.com/ddadpodcast. There you'll get access to all of our seasons, along with additional bonus content for your home D&D games. Next episode coming at you on September 26th. This one's the show, folks. Don't be late. My lovely
Okay.
camel gumps. Check it out.
This is what they call forest gumps.
Forrest Gumps.
God damn it!
So, man, your dumb joke has erased all the numbers.